Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text, tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the narrative lectionary, and we are in the 12th chapter in Mark, and the commentary on Working Preacher talks about how this is not one of her favorite parables. And I would have to agree, especially when it comes to doing a children's sermon around it. So the direction I'm going is that God loves us and claims us even in all of the midst of the tricky questions that we try to throw and all of the confusing things that we have in this life. That even in the midst of tricky questions, God reminds us that God loves us all. That's because we belong to God, everything belongs to God, and we are part of everything, and God claims us and says, "You are my child." So, a lot of things going on this. There seems to me that there's a lot of tricky things going on. The parable seems there's tricky stuff going on, and then it feels like that Jesus is trying to be tricked and trapped and all this stuff. And then there's the whole thing about the coin, about taxes and about, trying to, that's where they try to trip up Jesus, trick him. And they, give him the denarii, what's on the denarii, and says, give to the emperor what is the emperor, and give to God what is God's. Well, the belief is that everything is God's. So everything we have is God's. Everything we have, everything we are God's. God claims us. God created us. We belong to God. And what I'm getting in this is that I'm reading this, that in the midst of all of those questions, all of the things that trip me up, all of the things that confuse me, all of the things that I go, what's going on here? All of that, it comes back down to God loves me. God claims me. All the things that I'm trying, do I give God this or do I take this? What do I do? I'm not sure. All of that I can just drop it at the foot of the cross. I can leave it and go, God loves me. God loves the world. God claims and owns it all. And God loves me. And that can let me let go of some of the questions that I can't find answers for, or the wonderings that I'm like, it makes me say, it's okay for me to say, I wonder. I wonder why they wanted to trap Jesus. I wonder what keeps me up at night. I wonder how God can meet me. And all of these questions. Now, some of these questions I would say are adult questions, but we know kids ask the questions. We know that kids ponder these things. And it's important to say, you know what? It's okay to have these questions. It's okay to struggle. It's okay that in the midst of the clay and the water-bogged swamp as we're walking through, it's okay to say, okay, God, I'm not sure if I don't get this, but I know you have me. Because even on the coin where I say, that belongs to the emperor, that belongs to so and so, but I belong to God. So that's my springboard. That's where I'm going with this. I'm hoping it can be useful as a springboard for you in this parable and all of this that's dancing. I even know that the part that I'm using is the part that's in parentheses, so you might not even use that, but I'm hoping it can be a springboard for your own thinking. So thanks for stopping by. I give so much thanks for your partnership in this ministry. If you find this helpful, like, subscribe, visit the dollarstore.childrensermon.com, dskidsermon.com. If you feel so inclined, you can donate. Never a requirement, always appreciated. But I really appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you have a blessed Lent.